He's not long. His son, yep. His son is not doing it, right? He's still out there messing with these animals. Jack Ham, the animals. The hand is still around. So we understand that it's in his characteristic to be these things. So if it's in his characteristic to be in the field, and it's also in his characteristic to hate Jacob, why do we have a problem with the fact that he hates Jacob? He will always hate Jacob. Everybody understand this? This is a point that we have to push in the minds of people, is that they can't, it's impossible, right? The river monster guy. I mean, who's out there messing with this fish? Right? Look at the fangs on that fish. I'm not messing with that fish, right? Yeah.
He is just as happy to hold the fish.
Oh man, that was the highlight of his day.
Play around. This guy's the real deal. He be out there, he don't play around.
I don't know how people can be confused who Esau is. You don't see the Arab man out there doing this nonsense. Right?
So you don't see Judah out there doing it.
Judah always gets involved.
Yeah.
They just get involved. Judah got that king mentality, that's why. So he not keep going on without him being part some way. But
You know, like Jacob, we just laid back. Stay in the crib.
Big catfish.
Woo! These are big catfish. Play around. He be finding them, man.
I said, what is that? That's that catfish y'all used to eat. That's that catfish y'all used to eat, hugging the catfish. The catfish don't even want to hug. He don't care. Let's read on. I can't believe how people don't know who Esau is.
Search for river monsters. Because sometimes these animals be killing people. When a couple people go missing,
Let's read on.
And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
And Jacob was what?
A plain man dwelling in tents.
You got some Jacob pictures now?
I got
we laid back.
Chilling at the house.
make sure it's everyone normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with Jacob.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, you
Well,
gotta bet the picture.
Yeah, you gotta bet that picture of Jacob. Lord knows what he's up to. Right? So, but they were separated from growing up. They grew up separate. One was out there in the field, one was at the house, dwelling in tents, tending to the sheep, tending to the livestock, you know what I mean? Taking care of things around the house. Right? That's your spirit. Right? You don't look for it every year to go up in no hill and no mountain with no gun, spray yourself down with what do they call that? Deer. And that was, I had a great. And they would say, oh, I had a great time. It was just me in the mountains. And your rifle, you sit in a tree, you're eating rations out your pocket, waiting to kill something. You know, for days on end. That sounds horrible to us. But to them, that was the greatest vacation ever. I heard them talk about it at the time. I mean, like, and they're so excited to talk about this. And they want to show you pictures. Like, no, I don't need to see no pictures. I'm good. You're all right. I don't really, you know. We talk about going on vacation. Where we going? We're going to check out Benjamin, right? We want to go to a resort. We want to go on a boat somewhere where we get catered to, where we eating and we ain't cooking. You know what I mean? That's a vacation to us. When we eat and we don't cook, what more you want, right? We don't want no more than we don't be out there doing that madness.
Esau's a natural born killer.
Yep. Yeah. It's in his nature.
Yeah.
Every now and then he get ill.
Yeah. You reap what you sow now. Most I not out.
Too bad.
Most I not out. You will reap what you sow. All right. Every once in a while, you give one to the animals. He said, all right, you'll get one back. You'll get one back. Every 10-day kill, trust me, you're going to get a kill yourself. Most I is a just power. All right. So even to the animal kingdom. All right. Let's read on. You don't do all the tents?
I'm trying to, but Too many things keep popping up.
Okay.
We're trying to work with it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 28.
Cribs or something. Cribs or something. And you see Jacob going intense. Right? Read on.
And Isaac loved Esau
Right?
because he did eat of his venison.
Venison. Right?
But Rebekah loved Jacob.
So now, check that out. Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. What is venison? It's like dairy. It's not just dairy. Anything in the deer family is considered venison. There's a lot of animals in the deer family. When you look up that family of beasts on the earth, it's an endless amount of different variations of deer, right? So venison is game meat. It's game meat because these are animals that are very strong, very fast. That's why they call them game meat. Meaning you have to hunt them. Like a cow, you ain't running. You know what I mean? He ain't too hard to rope him, catch him, cut him, and he's finished, right? But to get to that deer, you ain't gonna just put a rope around a deer neck. It will tear you to pieces, right? It's very strong, right? You know, and with their legs and their bucks, and you got the buck there with the big antlers, and you're not just going to walk up on that and slit that throat. That is not happening, right? You're going to have to hit that with the bow and arrow. You're going to have to trap it. So you have to make a game out of it, right? Because that's game meat. That's game, right? So you got to go after this beast. This beast is not standing still for you, right? So those type of animals, although they are clean for consumption, they're not clean for any kind of oblation. Everybody understand that? They're not clean. You cannot alter those animals. You cannot bring them to the altar. You cannot Why? 9 times out of 10, for you to capture this animal, you're gonna have to blemish that animal to capture it. Right? You gotta hurt him, man. Or else you can't hold him. You can't stop him. Right? He's too powerful. He's too strong. All right? You see when them deers get loose in them cities like in the Dakotas and stuff like that, and they come crashing through the window, they blow right through the window like he wasn't there. Run around and tear up the whole store and bust right back out the window on the way out. And nothing they can do because they're very strong, right? See that? There you go. Jacob dwelling in tents. Right? That's a good picture. Right? That's what they do. All right? They're home. They ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. You got a rope on. He ain't going nowhere.
He got cuffs on his chain.
Right?
He ain't going nowhere. He going nowhere right there.
Oh man.
Chill.
Now, Rebecca loved Jacob. Why is that? Why is that? What do women want from all you men? What she want? What do they want from you? What do they want? No. What do they want from you? Tenderness is part of it, right? But what do they want? They want you to be with. Home. They want you home. Right? That's what they want. He's one of intense. That's why he was the favorite, because he was there. Y'all always on the road. You always got something to do. Right? Esau not home. He out there in the field somewhere. That's when you go out there in the field, it ain't that you go out there for a day. You be out there. Sometimes you don't get no caught. You come back with your catch. You could be out there for a week. Right? When you're a real hunter, you're out there. And you come home and you get something. You got, you come back wheeling something or carrying something. You got sit down, chill out for a while, and you back out there again because that's your spirit. Right? So Jacob was loved because he was dwelling in the tent. He was home. Pick that up, catch that. I can't reach that. Move that. Right? That's how we had that relationship with his mother. All right, read on.
And Jacob sought pottage.
Anyway, if Jacob sought pottage, let's tell you about Jacob. He was what? He was chefing it up too. Right? So he was sodding pottage. He was there making up that that soup. Man.
When you said that thing about Jake and how that's what his mother wants, that reminded me of that movie Baby Boy.
Baby Boy, exactly.
Yeah. That reminded me of that movie,
Baby Boy.
I don't want to picture that.
You overstay your welcome after a while. Right? Especially if Mr. Man come around, you got to go. But,
Yeah, Jake.
there you go. Watch TV, make jokes on the couch, chill.
Show that head off.
Let's read on.
And Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Right? Therefore was his name called Edom. What does Edom mean? Edom means red. Okay? Therefore was his name changed to Edom. Because of the significance of what he did here. Now I said that same red pottage. Some people might say, well, how do you know there was meat in there? That could have been red beans. Right? Get Hebrews 14, verse 12. Is that it? Slack it. 4 and 12, where he says, he gave his birthright for that morsel of meat.
Oh, you mean Hebrews 12 and 16?
12 and 16.
Oh, yeah.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau,
Right?
who for one more so of meat
Right?
sold his birthright.
Right. So what? That's how we know there was meat in the pot. Everybody understand that? So somebody might say red pottage. How you know it was in red beans? They wouldn't even want to change his name over red beans. Right? You had to know there was something significant about that red pottage. And why they mentioned that the pottage was red. Meaning that it wasn't what? It wasn't fully cooked. It was still red. Right? When you cook your meat, it goes from what? Red to what? To brown, right? Well, I hope so. And you don't eat it when it's red, huh? All right. Because if it's not red, if it's red, it's not cooked all the way. Okay. So he said, feed with that same red pottage. Right? Read on. Go back to Genesis.
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Right?
And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall the birthright be to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore to him.
Right, so what? He wanted that meat so bad that he gave up his birthright. Okay. Now he could have just waited for it to finish, right? But he went, right? Whose characteristic is that everything has to be right away, quick, fast?
Esau.
This is Esau's characteristics here. That's why he comes out with things, make things quick, even though it's killing you. Don't worry about that, right? At least you get it quicker, right? Right? He creates all this fast food, all this shelf box food out of a box on the shelf. You said, open the bag, eat. There you go, right? No effort. It's a getting the food. No wait, no preparation. You go to the store, you open the bag, you eat, right? You go to Michael's, you got cook, bing, 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 2 minutes, cooked, done, eat, right? That is all part of his what? His personality. He don't want to wait for nothing. He don't want to wait for anything. That's why even to this day, he eat his meat, medium rare. Okay, right away, just eat. Okay, this is all part of his personality. So then we can't get confused. Somebody come with you some timeline, some lineage line, some Mount Seir breakdown, and try to make Esau into somebody else. It's too clear who Esau is, right? Okay, they're gonna come at you with some sensational breakdown and try to make Esau to be the Arab man. It don't even make any sense. All right, Ishmael fits the Arabs too well. All right, he's a wild man who wants to do a rock in a tank. They said his hand will be against every man against. He's a warrior's man. Okay, that's Ishmael. Okay, the so-called Caucasian, all right, is Esau. Now, all white people don't claim Caucasian. Okay, I'm gonna say that. Some of them know where they're from. They're from different places in Europe. They never was from the Caucasus Mountains. Right? There's a certain people that those Germans, there's a certain people that come out of the Caucasus Mountains, which is Esau. Okay. But you also have what? The Japhetic people, which also are Caucasian in complexion. But they're what? They're another nation. Okay. But from Turkey, from Istanbul, from all these different places. Right? Russia. Okay. And you can tell it just by looking at them. That's why they used to have wars in between Edomites. Because they all can't even say between Edomites, between the white races, I should say. Because they knew they were different people. Okay. There was a people called the Aryan race. Everybody know the history of that? Right? That was Esau. The Aryan race, that's Esau right there. Okay. That's coming against other people that are what also light in complexion or because okay. That curse had fallen on not just Esau, but also on Japheth. All right, to look that way. You have to be very mindful of that because you can get caught up. Right? Now, if you just label them all Esau, it just doesn't really matter because Japheth going into captivity also. Right? They both have the same fate. Right? But just for knowledge, for understanding reasons, right? Understand that they do look similar, Japheth and Esau. Everybody understand this? All right. So Europe was covered with Japheth. Right? All right. So let's read.
And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And
so what? It was beans, yes, but it was beans and meat in the soup. It was lentil beans of what color?
Yellow.
Like a greenish brown. Green, brown, some tan. You know, the lentil colors are in that group. Browns, greens. So that wasn't red. The red in the pot was the meat. Everybody understand that? Read on.
And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Right. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So wasn't that he was so much tricked out of it? He despised it. Everybody understand that?
God.
Go back to Hebrews 12 and 6.
16.
16.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator.
Any what?
Any fornicator.
Any fornicator. What's a fornicator? What's fornication? What's the definition of fornication?
Sexually immoral act.
Right? An unlawful sexual act. So lest there be any fornicator, like what? Like Esau. So Esau was known for what? Being involved in a lot of fornication. All right. The Greek word for fornication is porneus, which happens to be the root word of pornography. Right? Pornography comes from the Greek root word porneus, which means fornication. Because what are you watching in pornography? Fornication. When you're watching pornography, you are committing what? Fornication. You understand that? That is a form of fornication. But you're seeing the nakedness of people that you ought not to see the nakedness of them. Right? It is a sexual act. with sexual connotations, but there's no marriage happening. Are you married to this film now? After you watch this film, something wrong with you, right? So realize that that is what? That is fornication. All right? What are you looking at? Oh, fornication, okay. So that's where that word comes from. Porneus is a Greek word. Okay, the root word of pornography. But it all goes back to fornication. So we ought to flee fornication. Come on. That's right. That's what scriptures say. Flee fornication. Run from it. Right? We're not to indulge ourselves in fornication. Everybody understand that?
Come on.
Just to nail it down. Give me Hebrews 13 and 4. Then go back to 12 and 6.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 4.
Right?
Marriage is honorable in all.
Right?
And the bed undefiled.
Right?
But whoremongers,
right,
and adulterers,
right,
the Most High will judge.
Right. So whoremongering and adultery will lead you to judgment. Read on.
Let your conversation be without covetousness.
Covetousness, wanting. All right. Read on.
And be content with such things as ye have.
And be content with what the Most High gives you. Right. Go back now. So we don't want to be caught in adultery. We want to be caught in whoremongering, which is all forms of fornication. All that falls into the same category. Okay, read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 26.
Right, read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 26, verse 1. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar.
Right, so this is the second famine. Remember we read about Abraham, he went down into Egypt. Why? Why did Abraham go to Egypt when he had told Pharaoh that Sarah was his sister and all that? Why was he going to Egypt? Because there was a famine in the land, right? He was in that land that we dwelt in. And there was a famine, and he went down to Egypt looking for food. So here goes our forefathers, now Isaac, taking that same thing that he learned from the thing that his forefathers did, Abraham. So he remembered this. I'm going to do the same thing. There's another famine. I'm going to go down to Egypt. All right, read on.
And the Most High appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt.
Right.
Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Born in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father.
Right.
And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all the countries. And in thy seed shall the nations of the earth be blessed.
Come on.
Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
Right.
And Isaac dwelt in Gerar.
Right. So Isaac, he didn't go down. He thought to go down because that's what his father did. But he said, you know what, the Most High redirected him. Read on.
And the man of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, She is my sister, for he feared to say, She is my wife.
Right. So again, he took a page out of that book. Right. See how he learned things from what? What the same thing with Sarah? When he thought he was faced with a situation with his wife, he said, Tell me my sister. Now who's doing this now? Who's this? Isaac is doing the same thing that Abraham did. All right. So see that pattern. Right? We do what our forefathers did. So he's doing the same thing his father did. Read on.
Lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah.
Right.
Because she was fair to look upon.
So not only Sarah was fair to look upon, but Rebekah was fair as well. Okay. So the Most High was giving these men fair wives. Everybody understand that?
And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, the Abimelech king of the Philistines looked out at a window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife.
Right.
And Abimelech called Isaac and said, Behold, of a surety she is thy wife. And how sayest thou, She is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, Because I said, Lest I die for her.
Right, so what? He said the way they were interacting, he said he was sporting with her. So he's talking about their interaction. He saw the interaction between Rebecca and Isaac. He said, no, that gotta be a husband and wife. That ain't no brother and sister. Brother and sister don't get down like that, right? So he knew that was you try to pull wool over my eyes, right? You know.
And Abimelech said, what is this thou hast done to us? One of the people might likely have lain with thy wife.
Right, might have what slept with her or tried to sleep with her. Because read on.
And thou shouldest have brought guiltiness upon us.
Right, then what? Then we'd be guilty of what? Adultery, right? Form of fornication. So Philistines knew that they were not supposed to be what? Fornicating. Remember, all the nations got the law because we're all coming out of Noah. Noah's sons knew the law. Their sons knew the law. The law was known of the Most High God. That thought pattern that nobody else knew the law is not correct in this time period. Right? He only re-established the law with Israel when Israel came about. But this is prior to Israel. Am I understand that? Israel is not created yet. The whole earth knew the law of the Most High. So they all was responsible for keeping the commandments. And they did not. Okay? That's why he chose one nation to continue in his commandment. Right? We know.
And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, this man or his wife shall surely be put to death.
Right.
Then Isaac sold him the land and received in the same year 100-fold. And the Most High blessed him. And the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he came very great.
Right, so when he sold in the land, what does that mean? He became a farmer, he planted, and he got 100-fold. Meaning that everything he planted, it was just coming. Everything he put his hand to, he was getting a lot of increase. All right? 100-fold. That's a big fold right there. He got back 100 more times of what he put out. Okay. So the Most High was blessing him abundantly, Isaac. Read on.
For he had possession of flocks and possession of herds and great store of servants. And the Philistines envied him.
Right.
For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with the earth. And
see that? The Philistines was hating so much that we had wells that we could get fresh water from, that his father dug with his servants, right, Abraham. The Philistines was filling back the wells with dirt. You go to the well, the damn well is gone, right? They'll fill it back with dirt, knock the well down. Okay? Why did they do this? Why did they say they did this? Why did they hate him? Why did they hate him? Who caught it? Right. So they what? So what spirit was upon them? Jealousy. Jealousy and envy was a part of it. So you have to say jealousy and envy are very strong spirits. You have to be very mindful of that. You Most High progressing you, blessing you. People around you that don't have that spirit upon them, they're going to envy you. They're going to hate you for the fact that the Most High blessing. It might sound crazy to us because we were addicted.
But thou art much mightier than we. And Isaac departed thence,
Right.
and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham.
Right.
And he called names after the names by which his father had called them.
Right.
And Isaac's servants digged in the valley, and found there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, the water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him.
Right.
And they digged another well, and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence, and digged another well. And he called the name of it Rehoboth.
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 Mm-hmm.
And he said, For now the Most High had made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And he went up from thence to Beersheba.
Right.
And the Most High appeared unto him the same night, and said, I am the Most High power of Abraham, thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, and multiply thy seed, for my servant Abraham's sake. And he built an altar there, and called upon the name of the Most High, and pitched his tent there.
Right.
And there Isaac's servant digged a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Ahuzah, one of his friends, and Phicol, the chief captain of his army. And Isaac said unto them, Wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me,
Right.
and have sent me away from you?
Right.
And they said, We saw certainly that the Most High was with thee. And we said, Let there be now an oath between us, even betwixt us and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee, that thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and as we have we done unto thee nothing but good,
Right.
and have sent thee away in peace. Thou art not blessed of the Most High. And he made them a feast, and they did eat and drink. And they rose up betimes in the morning, and sware one to another. And Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came, and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and
Right.
said unto him, We have found water. And he called it Shabbat. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day.
Right.
And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beeri, the Hittite, and Bashma, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, which were of grief mind unto Isaac and to Rebekah. The book of Genesis chapter 27.
Right. So what's going on now? Isaac is reestablishing all the wells. What are these wells used for? Water, right? Water is very needed because they weren't living coastal, so they needed these wells to what? To feed their sheep, to feed themselves, right? So it's underwater in that region. Water travels under the ground. Same thing here in Florida, very similar too. There's a lot of water under the ground. If we were to dig, you would dig and you would hit water, right? And the water is moving water too. It's moving water, right? And that water is like it's almost like a river under the water, going through the rocky parts of the water. Esau built up so much on top of the earth, it takes a while to get down there. I believe that most places around here probably take about 13 feet, right? 11 feet before you hit the water table, right? There's some parts like in Hollywood, shoot, by the time we went down 6 feet, we hit the water table. All right, so it's different levels, different areas, right? Right?
I got a irrigation in my yard. It's 40 feet.
40 feet?
Yeah.
Wow. Right? 40 feet deep.
Yeah. My wife was afraid to go over there.
To do what?
She thinks she'll fall in.
40 feet deep. Right?
So is that what it talks about, like in the scriptures when it says there's the water beneath the earth? Is that what it's talking about? Or?
There's water beneath. Right, but what the scriptures say, the waters gathered and created seeds, right? Because the water covered the whole earth at one time, right? And the water gathered and made seeds and made the polar caps and things of that sort that showed dry land, right? There's water all in the midst of us, underneath us, above us, next to us, so water is life and water, you know what I mean? So water is, it's key. So yes, there's water under the ground. I don't know any scripture that really, this is more scientifically we know this, but scriptures show that they did in wells, but there was water under the ground where they dig up these wells, right? And they're pretty deep. So I don't know what they use to dig these wells, but they're pretty deep. You get that body of water down there, right?
The book of Genesis chapter 27 verse 1. And it came to pass, When Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold, I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison,
Right?
and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. And Rebekah spake to Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Most High, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me 2 good kids of the goats.
Right? 2 good kids of the goats. All right? So he said, listen, man. He asked for the venison, go get 2 goats. I'm going to fix it up. All right? Why? Because she heard that the blessing was to be given, but she knew the blessing had to come to Jacob. And it can't be given to Esau. Right? She was already instructed by the angel for when she was entreating the Most High about the babies in her womb. So she already knew the program. Right? So Isaac's eyes were dim. What does that mean? He couldn't what? Like to hardly see. You know, not completely blind, but those of us that have older parents, they get to a point where they're practically blind. Right? And we can see as a bit of an image. Right? Read on.
Go now to thy flock, and fetch me from thence 2 kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father.
Right, I said I'm gonna make them taste like venison. So she got skills in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Say, I'm gonna make it taste just like venison. Add a little this, add a little that. You won't know the difference. Right? She's skilled up in the kitchen.
Such as he loveth.
Such as he loveth. She know how he like it too. I'm gonna make it. He ain't gonna know the difference. Right?
And thou shalt bring it to thy father,
right?
That he may eat, he may bless thee before his death.
You know anything about the things were given, you had to be a blessing of the Most High. That's a whole other class. But you had to be a good cheer going before the Most High. So that's why he said, give me this food, make my soul happy, therefore I can give you this blessing. All right, read on.
And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me.
Right, so what? He said Esau is a hairy man, and I'm a smooth man. Right? What's smooth? His hands, right? I mean, they all have beards, but he said, I'm a smooth man, though. I'm not like Esau. I got hair growing all up under my ears, right? Esau is a hairy man, right? You see him. Shabbat, right? Yeah, might be some scary pictures that go up there, right? Burt Reynolds, he walk around like a hair sweater. You see him at the beach, right? A hairy man. So that's how we get that Jacob looked like us and Esau looked like them. Okay, read.
And I shall seem to him as it seems.
He gonna feel my hands, right? And he gonna know that's not Jacob. That's not Esau. Read on.
And I shall bring a curse upon me.
Right? Then he might get vexed and curse me. Read.
And not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son, only. Obey my voice, and go fetch me them.
Right.
And he went and fetched, and brought them and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob.
Right, so he gave the skins.
Good enough? This one right
Yeah,
here.
that's horrible. He gave the skins, right, so that he would be like a goat here, right, for his hands and for his neck. So he'd be like, you know, like you feel like that. All right. All right, don't leave him up too long. It's all gross. All right. So he used goat hair. So how was a goat's hair? Right? Not like a lamb's hair, huh?
No,
It's like
it's coarse, yeah.
no, it's not too coarse.
No, coarse meaning by thick.
Thick, it's thick,
Yes.
right? And stringy.
Yeah, not nappy.
Right. It's not nappy and rolled up like a lamb's hair. It's stringy and straight.
No doubt, my son, says, Father, I am Esau, thy firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may be blessed. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Most High.
He brought the venison. He said, how you get back here so quick? Right? We don't.
And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not.
Right?
And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but
Right?
the hands are the hands of Esau.
Right?
And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him.
Right. So what? He said, the voice I know is Jacob, but you feel like Esau. So maybe he started doubting himself. Maybe I'm tripping, but that don't sound like Esau. It sound like Jacob. Right? You know, Esau and Jacob, they didn't even sound the same. We don't talk the same.
No, we don't.
Right? Not at all. I don't care what language you're speaking. We don't talk the same in English. We don't talk the same in Spanish. We don't talk the same in French. Right? When you speak to somebody that speaks French, that is Jacob, they speak it differently. When somebody that speaks Spanish, that's Jacob. They speak it differently. Esau speaks Spanish totally different. Okay? So show you that what? It's not just the language, it's in our delivery. It's in our thought. You know, speech is how you transfer your thought. So if you think different, you're gonna speak different. Everybody understand that? So you're gonna have a different way of communicating. All right, read on.
And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father said, Isaac. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him.
Right.
And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my is as the smell of the field.
As smell of what?
Is as the smell of the field.
That's right. Say his smell was the smell of the field. What was Jacob wearing? Animal fur, but also what?
Esau's coat.
Esau's raiment. Remember, he had on Esau's clothes. So when he smelt it, he was like, oh, that smells like the field. So he'd been out. Of course, that showed that what? Jacob didn't smell like that. So Jacob didn't smell like Esau. He did not sound like Esau. He didn't feel like Esau. He was very different. So some people try to make it like there was a small difference between the children. There were major differences between the children. 2 nations was in her womb. 2 manner of people separated from her bowels. Jacob and Esau were not similar in any way, shape, or form. Right? Every aspect of them was different. Right? So this is why, even though Isaac is old and his eyes are dim, he's like, this ain't Esau. Smell like Esau. He feel like Esau. He brought my venison the way I like it, like Esau does. but he had a little, in his mind, he knew something wasn't right. Right? Read on.
which the Most High had blessed. Therefore, Yahweh will give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nation thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee.
What?
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee.
You hear this blessing, man? He said everybody's to bow down to you. Curse anybody that curse you. Anybody come against Israel, Most High gonna deal with them. Okay? In due time. That's the blessing that's put upon the Israelites. It's being put upon Jacob at this time. You know?
And blessed be he that blesseth thee.
Right? If they bless you, they'll be blessed. Okay, read on.
And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scared, gone out of the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father.
Right.
And he said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him,
Right.
Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau.
Right, read on.
And Isaac trembled very exceedingly.
Right, so Isaac, he got nervous. He said, oh man, what just happened? What is going on? He said he trembled when he heard that word. Read on.
And said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison? And brought it me, and I have eaten of all meat.
All before thou
Camest,
camest, right?
And have blessed him. Yeah, and he shall be blessed.
And yea, he shall be blessed. That means the blessings. Jacob already got the blessing. Ain't nothing he can do about it. He said he shall be blessed. Read on.
And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry.
Right.
And he said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. Mm-hmm. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named?
Right, because what is his brother's name? Jacob. What does Jacob mean? Supplanter or trickery. Right? So his name was that. And he was right, saying he got the right name. Because he came and took away your blessing, man. He got over on me. Right? He got me. He said, he really got the right, and he gonna keep that blessing. He's so crying now. He crying to me, you got no blessing for me? Read on.
And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away thy birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
Right.
And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Right.
And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Right, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And isn't that the case?
Yeah.
Right? So that blessing came to pass. His dwelling is the fatness of the earth. He's on the highest. I mean, he's living deliciously in this time.
That's right, not alone.
Okay. He has all the gourmet, every place, every great thing they found on the earth, they captured. And they claim it for themselves. Okay. Every wonderful thing, they put a gate around it and claim it for themselves. They put a guard around it. They use their gun to get everything. All right, read on.
And of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother.
So what does that mean by the sword you shall live? By arms, by war, by violence.
That's what he do.
Okay, by violence ye shall live. Meaning you're gonna go in the fatness of the earth, and you're gonna do all this by violence. Your violence is you're gonna steal and reap. Right? When you destroy, you're gonna keep it. That blessing was given to Esau. And he's more than shown that blessing upon the earth. Okay? So we cannot be at no time wondering who Esau is. It's clear. Read on. Huh? Right? And the corn. Read on.
And shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass.
Go ahead, read that.
And shall serve thy brother.
And guess what? Who's his brother? Jacob, right? Let's get the apocrypha. Hold right there. Let's read this prophecy. When is this going to happen? Ooh. I know everybody like, man, okay, he's supposed to serve. How he serve now?
Tomorrow.
Yesterday. All right? Let's see. Get Ezra's.
Is Esau our brother?
Is he what?
Is Esau our brother?
What do you mean is he our brother?
It's like Esau and Jacob, right? One white and one black, right? Are they brothers too?
We were two nations are in the womb, right? Two manner of people. So when you say brother, I want to know what you mean by brother. We're not the same people, so we're not brothers. You know, we were created from the same womb, the same mother and father. So in a biological sense, we're brothers. But the Most High intervened, and the norm was not upheld because He made him a different nation than us. Right? Normally, brothers got to be the same nation.
Isn't there, I forgot the scripture, but isn't there another scripture that mentions that Esau no longer even recognized Jacob as a brother or something like that?
He never did. He never did. They never had a relationship of, we brothers, we're dwelling together, we good. That's something in our imagination. The Bible don't say that. They had issues from the womb. They were fighting in the belly of their mother. Right? So when were they together? They were in the same household, but they're the same parents. But they were never brotherly. Just like Cain told the Most High about Abel. He said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" So yeah, we're born, but I'm watching over him. He got nothing to do with me. All right. Let's get Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. Hold on.
Start from 6 and
6 and 6.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended,
Right.
And by none other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
What shall be the parting asunder of the times? So Ezra is asking the angel. The angel is speaking for the Most High God. He said, I made everything. Most High made everything. He began everything and He's going to end everything. That's on Him. Right? But Ezra's just asking the Father, well then, when will be the parting of the times? When will the times change? Will it always be the same on the earth? When will this change of time come about? Read on.
Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
So he understood there'd be two kingdoms on this earth. Read on.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac,
right?
When Jacob and Esau were born of him.
Come on.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Read.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the what?
Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world. The world will be destroyed when the world is in the hands of who? Esau. When Esau has rulership, Esau right now has the world in his hand. Everybody understand that? So the world is primed for destruction. That's why we tell the people that judgment is at hand, because Esau is in power. When did Esau come in power? Those of you that have been going to the Friday class would know that right off the rip, because we're doing timeline in the Friday class.
During the Renaissance, right?
No.
Oh, yeah, Greek. Yeah, Greek, yeah. Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Greek. Okay. That's when he first took power. All right. Yes, other nations rose up for short periods of time, but the scriptures talk about that. We're going to read about that too. All right, read on.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Jacob is the beginning of the kingdom that follows Esau's kingdom. You got next. Okay? We got next. Who got next?
We got next.
That's why we say that. Because we know that the next kingdom on this earth will be the one ruled by Jacob. Read on.
The hand of a man.
And the hand of what?
The hand of a man.
Of a man?
Of man.
Of man.
Is betwixt the heel and the hand.
So what is that talking about? Now we're talking about these other nations. They have a little hand in things. They have their little rulerships here and there. But it's all about Esau and Jacob. They have a little influence here and there. But between this transition. So during Esau's kingdom, you had times where the Persians had rulership. You had times where these other nations had a little time to rule. Right? But now, once Esau lock it down, it's going to be Esau until it's destroyed. Everybody understand that? Read on.
Other question, Esdras, asked thou not?
Right.
I answered then and said, O Adawan, that bearest rule, if I have found favor in thy sight, I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore thou showest me part the last night.
Right.
So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet, and hear a mighty sounding voice.
Right.
And it shall be as it were a great motion. But the place where thou standest shall not be moved.
Right.
And therefore when it speaketh, be not afraid. For the word is of the end, and the foundation of the earth is understood. And why? Because the speech of these things trembled and is moved. For it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed.
Come on.
And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood upon my feet, and I hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
What? So the days come that I'm going to draw nigh and visit them that dwell upon the earth. So what? That's a prophecy. He said all this has to come to pass. He said to draw nigh and visit us that dwell upon the earth. Read on.
And will begin to make inquisition of them. What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness.
Mm-hmm.
And when the affliction of Sion shall be fulfilled.
Right. What does that mean? Read on.
And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished.
Mm-hmm.
Then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament. And they shall see all together.
Right.
And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. Of men with child shall bring forth untimely children.
Read that again.
The woman child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old.
Right.
And they shall live and be raised up.
Read.
And suddenly shall sown places appear unsown.
Right. Sown places shall appear unsown. Read on.
The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Right.
And the trumpet shall give a sound,
Mm-hmm.
which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid.
Come on.
At that time shall friends fight one against another.
Wait. What's going to happen?
At that time shall friends fight one against another
It's
like
going to
enemy.
be crazy. Right? Crazy times coming. All right? That time, friends shall fight one another. Read on.
And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run.
Come on.
Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation,
Right?
and the end of your world.
And the end of your world. Whoever's going to escape all this, how do you say, curses that's going to come down, plagues that's going to come down, they're going to see the destruction. All right? So we don't want to be taken. We want to remain. Everybody understand that? Because they that remain, if they're going to get the blessing. Okay, read on.
And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth.
Right?
And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed, and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched.
Right?
And as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
Right. So what are we talking about? Kingdom going to be established. Everybody understand this? So it's very significant. Esau is the end of the wicked kingdom. The kingdom of heaven comes after with Jacob. That's why this portion is so important that we understand this. This is a portion that a lot of religions out there, they don't understand what's going on here. Right? They don't understand what our salvation looks like or what salvation really is. Salvation is when the earth is going to be ruled in righteousness. Salvation is when the wicked is going to be taken out the way and be destroyed. That is salvation. It's not being going up in no cloud nowhere and living amongst the stars and jumping from planet to planet. I don't know what they be thinking, right? It's when the evil has been subdued upon this earth. Everybody understand this? That's the kingdom. That's the kingdom that was promised. That's the kingdom to rule on this earth. Give me Isaiah 4:1. Or 4:2.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
In that day shall the branch of the Most High be beautiful and glorious.
Be what?
Be beautiful and glorious.
In that day shall the branch of the Most High be beautiful and glorious. Read on.
And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely.
Now, is the fruit of the earth excellent comely now? So they ain't talking about the times we live in. Read on.
For them that are escaped of Israel.
For them that did what?
Are escaped of Israel.
We just read about who escaped what? What did they escape?
Perils.
What did they escape? He said peril. What did they escape? It told us exactly what it was going to happen. The plagues, right? No food, right? He said, man shall rise up against man. What is that? War, destruction, right? Those that escape all these things, right? We just read about it, right? Read on.
And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion,
right,
and he that remaineth in Jerusalem,
come on,
shall be called holy.
Shall be called what?
Shall be called holy.
Shall be called holy. Separate. Right? Read on.
Even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Most High shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem.
Right? Has the filth been washed away yet?
La.
The daughters of Zion are not quite clean yet. Right? The filth has not been washed away. Read on.
By the spirit of judgment.
By the spirit of what?
By the spirit of judgment.
So what are we talking? What day are we talking about? It's after Judgment Day. After what they call Doomsday. They call it Doomsday because they know their kingdom is ended. It ain't Doomsday for us. We're not fearing Judgment Day. Everybody understand that? We're looking forward to this Doomsday. We're looking forward to Armageddon. We're looking forward to Judgment Day. We're not looking against it because we know what comes after. What comes after is our kingdom, the kingdom of righteousness, right? So there's two different thought patterns on the earth right now. People that fear the day of the Lord, fear this destruction, and people that are looking forward and can't wait for it. All right, you got to be on the side of those that can't wait for it, right?
Second Ezra 7:43.
May go there.
All right.
We know.
And by the spirit of burning.
And by the spirit of what?
Of burning.
And by the spirit of burning. What did Christ say he's coming back with? Fire. Right? With his chariots like a whirlwind to run his anger with fury and with fire. So that's what's coming. But some things have to happen before that. We gotta have those wars. We gotta have that madness on the earth. And it's gonna get worse. Esau knows these scriptures. He put them in the movies all the time. Right? All that's gonna be crazy on the earth before the day of the Lord. All right? And it's getting there. So we're not just gonna walk sin. It ain't gonna be just, tomorrow we're out of here. There's gonna be some things that go down. Right? So just prepare your mind and your spirit. A lot's happening, but a lot more is going to happen. All right, let's go back to Genesis. That's why this portion is so significant, because this portion is really the whole story of what's going to happen on the planet Earth. With the birth of Esau and Jacob and the birthright and all that, it's actually going into the whole thing. You can reference the whole Bible in this chapters, right? Everything to Revelation is being talked about here. All right, where we left off at? We're in Genesis
40.
40. All right, we go.
Book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 40. And by that sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off the neck.
Right. So when Esau has to break the yoke off of the neck, we're not gonna stay in captivity. The yoke is gonna be broken off our neck. Okay, and it has been broken off our neck already, right? The physical yoke, and now the mental, spiritual yoke is being broken off our neck. Everybody understand that?
Come on.
That's what we have right now. That mental slavery. You no longer have to live and think like slaves. All right. The prophecy has come to pass. Give me last scripture before we go to break. Give me St. John 8, verse 32. We gotta leave that captive mind state behind and stop being a nation, a people. Look for our great men. All right. Choose our own, elect our great men. Look upon our people. Look at it. Because we're so taught to be individualites. That if I can't do it, it doesn't matter. If I can't get it done, it don't matter. We don't think like a nation. A nation don't care who does it, as long as it gets done. Right? Amongst our people. Okay? Who's gonna hold back the border? Who's gonna set up who's gonna create great structure, whatever a nation does. They look for their great men, their great women, to rise up and do great things for the nation. And that's a national mentality. That's not a slave mentality. Slave mentality, I'm just trying to live to the next day. I'm just trying to make it through yesterday. I'm just trying to get a little. That thought pattern has to be taken out of us. We've had that thought pattern too long. Read that.
The book of St. John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right. So what? This truth is free in your mind. Everybody understand that?
Come on.
So at this time, we're going to take the break. Any announcements, midday announcements for everybody? Coming up, if you got to know. I heard there's a sewing class going to be November 18th. Is that correct? Right. Right here, a sewing class for the sisters. November 18th. Right here. I believe it's a Sunday. All right. So, put that in your on your calendar. Don't miss that. So I believe it's a noonday start. Is that correct? It's a noonday start. 12 o'clock on November 18th, right here. Sisters, learning how to sew. So that we're gonna shut down all these stores. We're gonna have our own clothes made. You know what I mean? Get your tailor mades.
Yeah.
That's it, right? What else we got?
White with my fringes.
All white without fringes on. Never leave home without my fringes on. Right? Hallelujah. All right, so we'll take the break at this point, and then for about 40 minutes or so, and then we'll reconvene. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Don't forget to give your offerings in the box in the back. All praises.